Guys, welcome once again to another week, and we're going to be analyzing the gold charts as always. Now, how was your trading week? I hope it went well. We were able to get a trade, a sell trade initially. That was about, I think, 2 weeks ago. We held it, but finally got out, stopped out at break even, which that wasn't a surprise, right? Because it looks like gold has resumed its bullishness. Now, we had an opportunity for a buy last week, and we didn't quite take it because I was just waiting to see if that sell trade is going to hold, because I was hoping for gold to come down lower, at least to somewhere around 3199 or 3124 level. But gold seems to have rejected upward. So what should we be looking out for in this new week? So guys, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share. We're always spot on with our analysis, right? So let's do the top down analysis. Let's start from the monthly time frame. Let's hide this. So looking at the monthly charts, gold is generally bullish, like we've always said. Gold is generally bullish, like we've always said. And so we're going to be majorly looking for buying opportunities, but we still need to take note of the fact that there are multiple rejections here, and gold is at a point where gold is most likely going to be consolidating for some time. And I honestly am looking for a bearish red monthly close, right? Candle close, right? I'm really looking for that because I think gold has gotten to a point where it's overdue to, for gold to print a bearish red candle on a monthly time frame. So I'm probably looking at this month being that month, right? Since we've had multiple rejections here, we had this indecision candle, we had this middleman indecision candle, and then this massive rejection, even though gold didn't close bearish or red on this previous month. Although if you look at some charts kind of like this was a red candle, right? Because it was just right at the open of this particular candle in some charts, right? But this now still green, right? So in this current mode, we might see, yes, gold will most likely push up to fill up this previous week of the previous month, right? So we might see gold push up to as high as 3451. But once gold gets there and probably sweeps this level or doesn't, right, we might start seeing rejections again downwards, and we might see this month close bearish. Now, if that happens, I'm going to really like that, right? Because I really believe that gold is overdue for some bearishness, right? I would like to see some red bearish monthly candle printed, right? I like to see that. But if we don't see that and gold continues to push higher and then breaks higher, then that's good because that's gold, right? So, like I said, we're going to be looking for majorly buys, and if we see the buying opportunities, we're going to take it. Even though I didn't take last week's opportunity because I was already in on the sell trade. If we see a new buying opportunity, we're going to take it, and we're most likely going to hold it up to this point and watch what price does at that point. That is 3451 level. So that's that. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's see what we can find there. So we're on the weekly charts now, and looking at the weekly charts, what do we have here? Now, like we said, gold is still bullish, overall bullish, and we can see this consolidation happening right over here, right? Gold pushed down a little to this point and then rejects from here and then pushes up, and now this last week weekly candle has rejected upwards, even though it's not a clear what's it, engulfing candle. It didn't quite engulf it, but we can see this rejection happening right here. So what we can expect, and previous week, I told you that in this last week that just closed, I told you that if gold pushes down, gold might reject upwards, and that's what it did. But I also told you some things. There was a consolidation there we saw in the 1 hour time frame that I said if it breaks down lower, then you could see selling opportunities. And gold played out exactly as I said. Gold broke lower and then we sold. You saw the opportunity there for a sell. And once gold pushed down to this point, we now start seeing the bullishness and the rejections upwards. All right. So what do we expect now in this week? What I'm looking at here now is seeing this rejection that has happened right over here. We're going to be looking for buys probably into the 50% level of this week, this current week, previous week's candle, right? We're going to be looking for price to come down to 3323 level or even lower, and then from there we're going to 3295, and then from there we're going to most likely um, we're going to get in on our buys from those levels, right? So let me just draw that so we'll get the exact point. Don't let this lines, let me remove this. Those are the levels I told you guys to take note of, and price rejected from those levels. So let's do this. Guys, trading is quite simple but can be complicated if you really don't know what you're doing, and so you really need to know what you're doing and be patient with your trade setups. Don't just jump in on trades just because you see people posting all manner of results. No, stick to your plan, stick to your strategy, and just be patient and wait for that perfect setup. If you don't see anything, then you just wait. It's more about capital preservation than profit making, right? You have to focus more on preserving your capitals, right? That's the most important thing when it comes to trading. And definitely, like every other business, you need a good amount of capital to trade with to make significant profit. So this is the 50% level, right? Which is trying to get which is around 3325 level, right? That level, and then the 76.4 level is this level over here. So we'll be looking at those two levels for price to get it. Sorry, for price to get into those levels, and then we're going to be buying from those levels. Okay. I'm quite tired, so don't mind my breathing. So these are the two levels we're going to be looking for price to get into, this 50% level and this 76.4 level. Hopefully I would like to see price get into this 76.4 level, and then from there, if we see buying opportunities and rejections, good rejections from that level, then we're going to trade the market upwards into this level here, into at least this level, 3434 level. Now if price breaks higher, like we said, if gold decides to break higher and pushes higher, that's good. But left to me, I would love to see a rejection back downward. So if you see price come down into this zone and then goes up into this zone, that's good, right? Now, if price decides to continue and break higher, that's also good, right? But if we see that price decides to uh, break lower from here, then we're going to also take the selling opportunities also from that zone. We just need to just keep a close eye on the charts when the price gets into that zone, and we now know what we're going to do. Now, so these are the levels we're going to be looking for in this new week that we're stepping into. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what it's like. Now, looking at the daily, we can still see the same things. We can see how that gold is still within this overall consolidation area, right? Now, I was really hoping the price will continue to push lower, right? I was really hoping the price will continue to push lower, but price actually did reject from the zone and is pushing upwards. So what do we look out for? It's simple. Now, gold could still reject from the zone. That's possible, right? That's possible. You can see, uh, one could say gold is testing this level that it broke out from, and it's testing here and could want to drop from here. So we just need to just keep a close eye on it. But for me, I think I'm going to be majorly looking for buys from this level, right? I'm going to be majorly looking for buys from this level. When we go to a lower time frame, we'll see things clearer, I think. We'll see things clearer. Yes, we'll see things clearer. So we just need to wait and see how price forms. But we could also still see selling opportunities from here too as well. Okay, we could see selling opportunities from there too as well. So let's go to the and now you can see a fair value gap right over here on this daily. Now, although it would have been best if gold at least broke above this, it just only swept this level. It would have been best if gold broke above this level, right? It didn't. It just swept it. So we could see certain opportunities from here once they present itself, but I don't know. I might not take that. If it presents itself there, you could sell down into the zone and then now look for buying opportunities from the zone once price comes down. But let's just go to the 4-hour time frame. Things are just looking funny on the daily. So this is the 4-hour charts. Good. Things are looking better on the 4-hour charts, right? You can see this, guys. Hope you can see this. So looking at this now, you can see that there is a inverse heads and shoulders right here. You can see this. There's an inverse heads and shoulders right here. Can you guys see that? So now we can expect price to come back down to the neckline, right? This is the neckline level. And as you can see, that falls within that area that we marked out, those two levels we marked out, that gold, we expect gold to come down to, right? So let me delete this inverse heads and shoulders. So we can see that happen right there. There's something like that of that nature right there, right? You can see it clearly. So it makes sense that we should expect gold, we should expect price to come down and then push up back from that level. It makes sense. It makes good sense. And once that happens, we're going to be holding it up into the level we spoke about, right? We'll be holding it. So that's a good one. Like I said, you could also take advantage of the selling opportunities from the zone. Now, if you remember last week, I told you this box, this area was what we're looking for gold to break out from. Already I was in on the sell just before NFP, remember? And I told you, but price needs to break before last week started. I told you we need to see a break below, right? Or a break above. And whichever direction gold goes in, it gold come back into that box, and then you can now, continue. And so gold did just that. Gold broke below, came back in, and what happened? It dropped. All right, that's what happened. So here now, we're just going to be waiting for gold to come down. Now you can capitalize on the drop from this point, right? But it might be risky. So I'll just rather wait. When gold gets into this level, right, we're going to go in for our buying opportunities. And as you can see here, there are multiple fair value gaps here. There's one over here. There's another one right, just very tiny one right over here, I think. Okay, so let's just wait. Let's wait and see. We're going to wait for gold to come into the zone, and we're going to buy gold. And so that's a good one. Now we had an opportunity here, like I said earlier. We had an opportunity here. We had an opportunity here too as well, but I didn't take it. I saw it, but I didn't take it. Let's go to the 1 hour so we see what I'm talking about. See things better. So you can see here now, we had an opportunity here. This was a neckline that was formed over here. I saw this clearly. But because I was already in on the sell and I was hoping that it was going to hold, I was hoping that the sell would just drop. All right. What I could have done, I could have used my other account and taken this buy opportunity, right? I would have used one other account taking the buy. I didn't just do that, so I left it. So once price came back down, retested, you could have gotten in on a buying opportunity right over there. Right over there, which stops somewhere around here, and just hold the charts, and you just keep holding it. But if you're in on this trade, you can just keep holding it. If price comes back down, price is going to come down lower, and then give us another opportunity, and then you hold again. So it's a good one. 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 So guys, that's that. So we saw heads and shoulders, inverse heads and shoulders on the 4-hour, right? So we can see that again on the 1 hour. We can see wait, let me draw this. We can see this here also on the 1 hour. You can see this here. This is an inverse heads and shoulders, right? And this is still the same neckline that we marked out right over there. All right. So you could even say this also, like this, is the heads and shoulders again, right? So the thing is, once price comes down into this zone, price is most likely going to push up, and that's for a fact, right? Once price comes down into this area, let me put this box so you see what I'm saying. Once price comes down into this entire area, once you see price comes down into this entire area, this is an opportunity for you. This is going to be a level, an area for you to be looking for a buying opportunity. So once price gets into that box, into between this 50% level that we marked out of the week, that the week the weak candle and then the 76.4 level. Once we see price gets into that zone and we see rejections, it's going to be a good one, right? It's going to be a good one. Once we start seeing the rejections we need to see, once we start seeing that, we just buy the market up and we hold it. We hold it. So that's the analysis that I have for you guys. I hope you get it. It's a simple one. All right, it's the simple one. It's the daily. So it's as simple as that. We just need to wait for gold to give us what we're looking for, and we go in on the charts. All right, it's that simple. So nothing else to, nothing much to look at again. So that's just that. So I do hope you have a wonderful trading week, guys. Make sure to subscribe and like and follow this video, follow this channel. And you have any questions, please do so to ask. Make sure to ask in the comment section. Thanks, guys. Peace.